Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So Wattpad has recently updated their new chat stories app to where anyone can now create their own chat stories. So the purpose for this video today is for me to basically walk you through the entire process to where you'll be able to successfully create your own chat stories. Now please do watch the video from start to finish before asking any questions in the comments, because I'll more than likely answer them at some point during this video. But other than that, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Alright, so after installing the app, once you open it for the very first time, I think you'll be greeted with a skippable story to read, so you don't have to read it all the way through. You can skip out of it. Now after you get out of that, you'll then be sent to the home page, which is what we're on right now. Now before you can create anything, you'll first have to make an account. So to create an account, in the upper right hand corner you should see an icon of a little person. Go ahead and click on that. And here is where you can register with an email address or a phone number. Once you get on your profile page, as you'll see, everything will be pretty much blank. So to add your name or change your username on your profile, you can click on the color circle in the upper left hand corner to edit that information. Now moving on to creating a story. What you want to do first, obviously, is select the blue bar to get started, create a story. Now when you get to this page, the first thing that you'll want to do is name your character. So in order to do that, select the blue icon on the left side of the screen to bring up the box to name your person. When you've done that, hit add. Then you'll need to actually select the person's name in order to add them to the text box. So now that you've done that step, you can go ahead and start typing your first message, and when you're done, you can hit send or whatever option is listed on your phone's keyboard. And go ahead and repeat the same steps to add more people to the conversation. Now if you want to switch around the text boxes, you do have that option. All you have to do is select a box by pressing and holding down the right hand side of the box and moving it to whichever place you like. So where the little lines are on the right hand side of the text box, if you hold that down with your finger and move it around, as you can see, you can rearrange your text. Now to delete a text, go ahead and select the box, then hit the trash can icon, and it'll delete. It's a very simple process. And while you're still inside your story creating everything, something else that you can do on this screen is on the right hand side, you see those little dots next to the camera icon. If you select that, it will basically act as if the person is texting you at that exact moment. So here's a quick example of what that will look like in your text. That's pretty much it. Now going back to the writing page, if you want to if you want to change a character's name, all you have to do is select their name on the little bar icon here. And you hold down their name until you get a little pop-up message. And here is where you can update their name, change their name, or you can delete their name entirely. Now if you delete the person entirely from your story, doing that will not get rid of their text messages. It'll only get rid of their name on the text box. Now before publishing anything and having it go public on the app, if you just want to save your story as a draft and come back to it later, all you have to do is select the arrow in the upper left hand corner of the screen and it will take you back to your profile page, which is where your draft will be. So right here, this little gray area, the first box here, this is your draft. And on this page here, even after publishing, is where you can delete your story, share it, or add more scenes to it, which I like to think of them as being chapters. So in the upper right hand corner, this little row of dots, here's where you can delete your story, go in and edit it, add more scenes, etc. Now going back into your draft, click on your story and click on the scene, and it will take you back to where you left off. So one more cool thing that you can do while you're in here writing your story is add background images to your story. For background images, it's best to get your pictures from unsplash.com, Pixabay, or Pexels for the highest quality. And if you go to the help center inside the app, which I will show you how to get there later, those links will be there. So to get to the help center on the app for those links to Unsplash, Pixabay, and Pexels, if you select the little gear icon in the upper upper right hand corner when you're on your profile page, scroll down, you will see help. Go to help center. And from here, click on how to use tap. And in the writing section, select add a story cover. And if you scroll down, here is where the links for all those websites will be. Alright, so going back into your story, to add a background image, all you have to do is select the camera icon and choose Scene Background. So as you can see, you now have a background for your text. And if you want to switch the picture out or delete it entirely, just select the camera icon again, and you can remove the picture or update it by changing it. Now another thing that you can do while in the writing page is you can send picture messages. In order to do that, first make sure you're in the right text box and make sure that the message that you're sending is from the person that you want it to be from, and then select the camera icon once more and select message this time. Select a picture from your gallery, and as you can see, it shows up, and that's how you send picture messages. Now at this time, you can only send picture messages and not include any audio or video messages. For an app like this, I really don't think going the extra mile for that would be necessary. Honestly, that's just too much for, we don't need to do all that extra stuff with the audio and sending videos and stuff like that. But that's how you send a picture message. Now, we've pretty much gone over everything as far as creating a story, changing names, moving around the text boxes, etc. So what you'll want to do at this point, once you're done creating your story, to make sure that everything is okay, make sure that everything looks good and is in order, select the button, the preview button in the upper right hand corner to just preview your story and make sure that everything looks alright. And while you're in the preview mode, even while you're reading other people's stories on the app as well, if you hold down in the tap section, it will generate an autoplay function to where you don't have to continually tap the screen in order to get the next message. It'll do it for you. And I think this is a really, really cool feature, a definite standout feature from the other chat stories apps that are currently on the market. The fact that you don't have to continue to hit the button or hit that little space to generate the next message and it'll automatically do it for you, I think that is freaking awesome. Now, you can edit the speed of the text, how frequently or how fast they pop up. You can edit that in your reading settings. And after you're done previewing your story, once everything looks alright, you can go back to the writing section and click next in the upper right hand corner. And here is where you can add your cover, your title, a brief description. You don't want it to be too long. You can add the language and of course your copyright information, who owns it, all rights reserved, etc. And after you're done filling out all the information on this page, go ahead and hit next in the upper right hand corner, and you will then be taken to this page where you can choose up to 3 categories for where you want your story to show up in. And as you can see right now, the list is pretty vast, so that's good. You have lots of options. Once you're done selecting your categories, the last thing that you'll have to do is hit publish. And if you have any other types of forms of social media out there, Twitter, Facebook, etc., your Wattpad page, you can go ahead and share your story and start getting reads. Go ahead and hit done. And as you can see, everything has been published. And if you go back to your profile page, your story is available to view for others to see. Now, to delete, unpublish, or add another scene, or what I like to call them chapter, to your story, all you have to do is, on your profile page, select the story, and in the upper right hand corner, like before, select the 3 row of dots, and you have the option to edit the information or delete the story entirely. Now, to unpublish the story, drop down to your scenes, and if you only have one, go ahead and select a row of dots, and you can unpublish that scene, which will then unpublish the entire story since you only have one. If you have more than one scene, you can unpublish them all, etc. And another thing about the scenes, if you have more than one scene in one story, they will all be tied together while you're reading it or while someone else is reading it. So you don't have to go back and search for part 2 or part 3 to someone else's story. If they have more than one scene in the story while you're reading it, you will get all scenes during the duration of that story. So let me show you a quick example of what that will look like. So we're back in the preview section. I just added another scene to our fake story. So let's go ahead and check it out. This is scene 1, or chapter 1. And this is scene 2. So as you can see, they're tied together, so you don't have to, if another story, you see at the end of a story, continue on to part 2 or etc., something like that, you don't have to go back out of the story and search for it. Everything is tied together if there's more than one scene. And just some extra notes that I wanted to add for this video. Because the app is still new and I'm sure it's still being worked on behind the scenes, I'm assuming, there's yet to be a search function on the home page, and there's also yet to be the option to where readers can create their own reading lists, to add their favorite stories or whatever into. I'm sure that will happen one day, but that is something that I would personally like to see for the app. And another thing that I would like to see happen is the ability for readers to maybe vote or comment on stories. I'm sure Wattpad has all this stuff in the works for the future, so let's cross our fingers on it. But I would definitely like to see something like that to where the readers can at least interact with the writers on the app. Alright, and just a few more extra notes here. Going back into your settings, hitting the little gear icon in the upper right hand corner. If you go into your reading settings, here is where you'll select your autoplay speed for reading a story without having to constantly tap your screen to get the next text. So you can select slow, moderate, or fast. You also have the option to read privately. And also looking back in your settings, here is where you can purchase a subscription package to get unlimited taps, so you can basically read without interruption. So where you see subscribe to Tap Premium, you have these options to get unlimited taps on the app, so you don't get the pop-up message after you've reached a certain limit. To find out more information about the Tap subscription packages and the pricings, if you go back into your help center and if you go to how to use Tap, scroll down to what is Tap Premium, and here's where you'll find that information. There's also tons of more additional information here, so if I couldn't help you with this video, you can always go back here into your help center for more assistance. And coming to the end of the video, I think I touched upon all that you can do or needed to know in regards to creating stories, editing stories, deleting stories, etc. But if I did forget to include anything, I'll definitely provide additional information in the comments section, so look out for my pinned post there. And if you did make it to the end of this video and still have questions about something, you can always ask by leaving a comment, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if I can't, then I'll just direct you to support on the app so that they can assist you. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoyed, or thumbs up if this helped you in any type of way, and I will see you next time.